Brad Keselowski will miss the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium coming up in a couple of weeks. Steve Phelps has resigned as NASCAR's commissioner, and Ram has launched their brand new TV show, Ram Race for the Seat. Welcome back to Talkin NASCAR. I'm your host, Andrew, the first full episode of Talkin NASCAR of the new year, 2026. I am very excited to be doing this. It's been a little bit. It's been about 9 days since I've made the last episode, but I'm back to doing what I love, and we got a lot to talk about here today. Lots of driver news. We also have some Daytona duels getting some title sponsors for the first time in what feels like years. So we got a lot of that to talk about. We also got several other silly season news as we get ever closer to the season opening clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. And speaking of the clash, Brad Keselowski will miss the Bowman Gray clash, or the clash at Bowman Gray. I believe it's the Cookout clash at Bowman Gray Stadium coming up in a couple of weeks. We are a full 22 days away from the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium and a full 20, or I believe, excuse me, 36 days away from the Daytona 500. So Brad Keselowski, a couple weeks ago, it was announced that he actually suffered a broken leg in a skiing accident, but he did have successful surgery on his leg and is expected to make a full recovery. However, I imagine this news is just a precaution, giving Brad some extra time to rest. It definitely will mean he's maybe a little bit rusty when it comes to driving, but with new practice times now for the Daytona 500 and Speed Weeks for the Cup Series, and you have the Daytona Duels, which do have an entitlement sponsor, by the way, which I'll get to in a moment. I imagine this is more so just of a precautionary move by both Brad and RFK. And Corey LaJoie will be filling in for Brad Keselowski at Bowman Gray Stadium. He will be attempting to make the main show at Bowman Gray Stadium. And this will be Corey LaJoie's first start of 2026. He'll probably, it wasn't scheduled, obviously. It's going to be a substitution role. I believe Corey LaJoie was RFK's substitution driver last year. He was also making starts for Rick Ware Racing in his 0-1 stacking pennies performance Ford Mustang, just in select starts. So he has definitely not been in a competitive car in a little bit, but now he'll get a chance to see what he can do and what he can prove behind the wheel of the number 6 car for RFK coming up at the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium coming up very, very soon. I already mentioned that the Daytona Duels have a new entitlement sponsor. It is the America 250 Florida Duel. American 250, the brand that is celebrating America's 250th birthday here in 2026, is hopping on board to be the entitlement sponsor of the Daytona Duels for the Cup Series, the short 60-lap races that will set the order for the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So it's very cool to see. In recent years, it's just been called the Daytona Duels, or the Duels at Daytona. More recently, it was the Blue Green Vacation Duels at Daytona. They were the last entitlement sponsor of the Daytona Duels, but for a while, it's just kind of been the Duels at Daytona. So I'm glad we do have an entitlement sponsor, and it's cool to see that we have the America 250 brand on there, at least being the entitlement sponsor of the Daytona Duels. So that's cool to see, at least for me. We got our first announcement of Cup Series drivers making some starts in the Truck Series. First, Ross Chastain will be running 8 races for Nice Motorsports this upcoming season. They did not announce which truck he'll be driving, but I imagine it'll be in the number 42 truck. That's the truck where they'll probably have a rotating mix of drivers. They already announced that Tyler Reef, Connor Jones, and some other late model drivers are going to be making starts in there. Ross Chastain, he's been very solid in that truck for Nice Motorsports. He's been consistently up front. A good guy to help anchor that team. Very good partnership going there between Ross Chastain and Nice Motorsports. And then Spire Motorsports announced that Michael McDowell will be running the season opener Truck Series race at Daytona in the number 7 truck coming up very, very soon. I believe this will be the second time in 2 years that McDowell will be running the Truck Series opener at Daytona. I believe last year he did drive the 7 truck, and I think it was Corey LaJoie that was in the '07 truck last year for Spire. So we'll see how Michael McDowell does. He's a good plate racer. We'll see how he does in the Truck Series coming up in a couple weeks at Daytona in the Truck Series. Sticking with Daytona for a little bit, Jimmy Johnson, who already announced he will be attempting to make the Daytona 500 a couple weeks ago in the number 84 car for his own Legacy Motor Club, announced that the team will be using the open exemption provisional to guarantee him a spot into the 2026 Daytona 500, and it has been approved. Now, if you don't know what the open exemption provisional is, it is a rule that NASCAR brought in last year, and it was supposed to be a way to help bring in drivers from overseas in different forms of motorsports and would guarantee a spot or a driver into a race with a guaranteed spot, a driver that is maybe like a Jimmy Johnson, a world renowned race car driver. And last year it was Trackhouse Racing and Elio Castroneves, multiple time Indy 500 winner, very accomplished racer around the world. Trackhouse Racing used that open exemption provisional on Elio and the number 91 car last year. This year it will be Jimmy Johnson using it this year with the 84 car. And I've seen a little bit of controversy online about it, and in my opinion, I have to agree. Like, I haven't really read much of the complaints about it. Uh, in my opinion, I'm just looking at this and saying that, I mean, Jimmy Johnson's been able to make it into the last, what, three or four Daytona 500s on speed these last couple years. I mean, he did in 2023 with Chevrolet and Legacy Motor Club. He did the next year in 2024. He did it again last year in 2025. So the last three. And now he's going for four in a row. Like, I'm just saying, if Jimmy's been able to do that for 3 years in a row now, like, you would think that he has the balls to just say that, yeah, I can make it on speed. I don't need the open exemption provisional, but apparently not. So I guess it's really, I didn't really think that it was something that Jimmy needed to make the show, but apparently Jimmy thinks so. Maybe there's something else going behind the scenes at Legacy Motor Club. Maybe he's just not as confident, but yeah, it's definitely very confusing. But Jimmy Johnson will be racing in the Daytona 500 for sure. The only other caveat that comes with using the open exemption provisional is that those that are using it will not be able to receive purse money and payouts from the race. So Jimmy Johnson will be paying to enter that race as an open car, but will be getting a guaranteed spot, but will not be receiving any money back. So there you go. But maybe he'll make it back for sponsorship and ad revenue. You never know. Jimmy also announced that he's going to be racing in the San Diego truck race coming up later this June. This will be the first time in 18 years that Jimmy Johnson will be racing the Truck Series. It'll be his second career Truck Series start, and it'll be an 18-year gap. I mean, that's kind of crazy to think about. I mean, Jimmy Johnson, a guy that's done so much in NASCAR, winning 7 Cup Series championships. He's only raced one Truck Series race, and now he's just going back down to do a one-off in the Truck Series with Tricon Garage in the number 1 truck. So yeah, we'll see how Jimmy does. Maybe he'll be competitive. Maybe he'll be running out front. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, it's Jimmy's hometown, San Diego, Southern California. Just wants to get as much time out on track as possible. We'll see how Jimmy does coming up at San Diego in a couple months. Moving on over to the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, Baltazar Leguzimon announced that he will be driving for the newly formed alliance between Stan Barrett Motorsports and Cope Family Racing. He'll be racing part-time for them, mostly on road courses, so it's very interesting to see. I mean, Baltazar Leguzimon, I know he's made some starts in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts series. I know he made starts for Joey Gase's team, mostly on road courses. He's only 25 years old. I believe he is from Argentina as well. So he also made some starts, I believe, for Cope Family Racing as well too. So uh, in like the 70 car as well. So yeah, he definitely has some experience in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. Don't expect a lot from him. I mean, it's a new team, new partnership between Stanton Barrett and Derek Cope's team, the Barrett Cope Racing team. So I mean, not expecting a whole lot. And being that Baltazar didn't really do a whole lot, but it's very interesting to see, but good luck to Baltazar Leguzemon. That's a very fun name to say, by the way. Baltazar Leguzemon. That's very cool to see. Anyway, he'll be driving for Barrett Cope Motorsports, or Barrett Cope Racing, excuse me, in the number 30 car coming up later this season. Along with Baltazar Leguzemon, Alex Labay announced that he'll be driving for SS Greenlight Racing in the number 0 car, racing all the road course races for the number 0 team. He'll be sharing that ride with Garrett Smithley coming up this year. Alex Labate, he's been around in NASCAR for a little bit now. He's split time between DGM Racing. He's also raced for SS Greenlight Racing. He's raced, I believe, for Joey Gase's team as well. He's raced in the Truck Series. He's been all around the NASCAR Rally Auto Parts Series the last couple of years, so he's just sticking around there. We'll see how he does with SS Greenlight Racing, but again, not expecting a whole lot, but it's cool to see that we get another road courser in here like Alex Labate. Also, a couple of days ago, back over to the Cup Series side of things, it was announced that Legacy Motor Club will be bringing in Justin Alexander to be the crew chief for Eric Jones's number 43 team next year. He'll be on the pit box next year. He's coming out of retirement, actually, and Justin Alexander, most famously known for being with Richard Childress Racing, winning a Daytona 500 with Austin Dillon, being Austin Dillon's favorite crew chief, and Richard Childress Racing pulling him out of retirement several times to become crew chief for Austin Dillon, but now he's coming out of retirement once again to crew chief for Eric Jones in the 43 car, the legendary 43 car for Legacy Motor Club this year. Jones's former crew chief, Ben Bayshore, who came over late last year, I'm pretty sure, with after working on John Hunter Nemechek's car, will be moving into a new role within Legacy Motor Club. I believe he'll be working on the technical side of things. I believe he's going to be technical director, if I'm not mistaken. But he'll be taking a new role inside the team, and Justin Alexander will be coming into crew chief Eric Jones. Personally, I don't know how to feel about this partnership. It seems a little random, in my opinion. I mean, I thought that Justin Alexander was done for good after he probably went back into retirement, and the three team brought in Chase Briscoe's old crew chief, Richard Boswell from Stewart Haas Racing after that team shut down. So I thought this was it for Justin Alexander, but apparently not. So I really don't know how to feel about it. I mean, he's a Daytona 500 winning crew chief. Eric Jones has won the Southern 500 a couple times, but it just seems a little random in my opinion. I don't think there's really anyone else on the market. I don't know if this makes the partnership any better. I mean, looking at it one to one, Ben Bayshore has done a lot more in his career as a crew chief, mostly with Kyle Busch, than he has, or excuse me, not with Kyle Busch, uh, but he's done a lot more with Kyle Busch than he has with Eric Jones, but he's done more, I feel like, than Justin Alexander. So I really don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I guess Justin Alexander, Daytona 500 winning crew chief, he's been around a little bit longer than Ben Bayshore, so I guess that's the logic behind it. I'm just kind of looking at it logically, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to go with Justin Alexander, but who knows? Maybe Legacy Motor Club's just looking to get a veteran presence inside the building, so maybe that's what they're going for here. So we'll see how this partnership works out. I'm wishing the best of luck to Eric Jones and Justin Alexander on the 43 team now, and we'll see how they do coming up later this year in the 2026 Cup Series season. Sticking with the Cup Series for just a minute, I saw this post actually online. It was actually on the dailydownforce.com, which you haven't checked out. It's a great website for NASCAR and motorsports news and everything. It's a really great website. I love going there to get my news and everything. I did see this post that was made on the Daily Downforce. It was them reporting on another post they saw about Trackhouse Racing, and it was a yearly thing that this user does, and they yearly go out and look at every team's sponsor website or sponsor page on their website, because every NASCAR Cup Series team has a website and a sponsors page, because it's pretty much they should. I mean, they're having all those sponsors and everything. And this user noticed that Trackhouse Racing was missing one of their biggest sponsors from 2025, and that was WeatherTech. WeatherTech is no longer apparently with Trackhouse Racing. At this current moment, we have not heard any announcement that WeatherTech has left the team, and we have not heard any announcement that WeatherTech is back with the team. But based on what we know about WeatherTech not being on Racing's website, it's pretty good to assume that WeatherTech is no longer sponsoring Trackhouse Racing this season. And we saw this last year with Denny Hamlin losing Mavis Tires and Oil and Tires, one of his primary sponsors from last year. And that was a crazy bad blow to Denny Hamlin. I mean, he already lost FedEx, and now he just lost Mavis. He was lucky to bring in National Debt Relief to come on for some races. He also brought in Kings Hawaiian as well. Was brought in to be a primary sponsor, and I think Progressive is still a sponsor of Denny Hamlin right now. So we've seen this happen before, and For a team like Joe Gibbs Racing, they can afford to go out and find sponsors for Denny and keep him around. We also saw this with Kyle Busch. He lost M&M's, his primary sponsor, for a long time, and Kyle Busch ended up going over to Richard Childress Racing to drive for RC. And again, a little bit different between Joe Gibbs Racing and Trackhouse Racing. I mean, Joe Gibbs Racing is a much bigger team, has a much longer track record, it's been around in NASCAR a little bit longer. Trackhouse Racing, in the meantime, they're going to only be entering their fifth or sixth year in existence, and Trackhouse Racing has a more global brand. They haven't really just stayed in NASCAR and become a powerhouse like Joe Gibbs Racing has. Trackhouse Racing has expanded into MotoGP. They've done some IMSA races with Connor Zilic. They've also partnered with other teams in IMSA. They've made some alliances with Nice Motorsports in the Truck Series. They've done a lot of things. They have their own go-karting facility. They have their own driver pipeline. They have a Red Bull partnership. So Trackhouse and Joe Gibbs Racing in different situations, but you can not deny it that Trackhouse is a much smaller Cup Series team than Joe Gibbs Racing is, which may have an impact now with WeatherTech being out for Trackhouse, may cause some issues for money. However, I think that for them, they will be okay because we've seen Red Bull being able to step up for both Connor Zilic and SVG, the two drivers that really have been impacted by this the most. I would guess Ross Chastain's got Bush Beer on his car for most races. He's got a good deal with Moose Fraternity. Trackhouse did also lose Freeway Insurance as well, which is a pretty big sponsorship loss with Daniel Suarez leaving the team. And I think they still have Jockey. I'm pretty sure they still have Choice Privileges hotels. Like, maybe they don't. Maybe they follow Daniel Suarez. They also, it's easy to think that Trackhouse Racing will be able to find sponsors because Red Bull is going to be on the cars for Connor Zilic and SVG more often than not. I think Wendy's actually went over to Spire maybe with Daniel Suarez. Actually, I want to look at the page myself and real quick and see what we have. Okay, I'm looking at their sponsor page right now. They still have Bush Beer. They still have Choice Privileges Hotels. They have Jockey, Kubota still, Moose Fraternity, Quad Lock, which is an SVG partner. Same with Red Bull, Safety Culture. Siemens is kind of a thing that's around in NASCAR all the time. Tootsie's and then Wendy's as well. So they did keep most of the sponsors. It looks like they really just lost Freeway Insurance, which is a pretty big sponsor, but they're a sponsor that's really dedicated to Daniel Suarez. So I imagine that uh, I'm pretty sure that Trackhouse Racing is going to find a way to sponsor those cars and fill in the gaps where WeatherTech may have been, or maybe they already have a spot in. I mean, again, Trackhouse, a pretty big entertainment group. They have a very large global brand. I mean, we've seen Trackhouse's entertainment group on the sides of their cars before. I mean, I believe last year with Ross Chastain and SVG at the Clash, actually, they were sporting some pretty slick looking Trackhouse liveries, which was pretty cool. They honestly looked like test cars, but they were still really, really cool. So we've seen that with Trackhouse before. So I'm not too worried about it, unless there is something that comes out with saying like, yeah, we're in trouble. We losing WeatherTech was huge for them. I'm not really concerned about that with Trackhouse losing WeatherTech really that much. But all right, let's keep her moving here real quick. NASCAR announced that they will be announcing a new championship points format for next season. They will be on Monday, January 12th. I believe it will be at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Time. And this is huge. This is huge that NASCAR is looking to make some alterations at the bare minimum to the current playoff format, or maybe doing away with the entire playoff format. I mean, their options are going back to the chase format and the full season points format. I've kind of made it clear on this show, at least what I think is the right way to do it. I voiced my support for the full season points format. I've done some more research and kind of thought about the chase format a little bit more. And in my opinion, that's still very good. And just all in all, I'm just looking for a change to the playoff format. I mean, it just needs to go. Winning your end needs to go. The constant resetting of points, the rounds, the eliminations, it just all has to go. It's all bad. It needs to be chucked out the window like Denny Hamlin did to that computer one time in that commercial. If you are a true diehard NASCAR fan, you'll know that commercial by heart, like I do. I also saw this post online too that may have been a potential leak of the new points format for NASCAR. I believe it was a guy that was working with his season ticket holder on getting some tickets for the later parts of the year, and it was a guy that he'd been working with for a long time apparently, and he got some insight that NASCAR is looking to go back to a chase style format. Now, this isn't 100% confirmed, but it's just a rumor. It's just speculation. It's just this one post. So I'm not going to entirely buy into it. But if NASCAR is going back to a chase format, it's at least miles better than a playoff format. And if you don't know what the chase format is, it's mostly that you have the 10 or 12 best drivers that were best on points get into this chase style format, which is in over 10 races to the end with 1 points reset at the beginning of the chase. That is a true uh, more so a larger sample size than the current playoff format where you just have 3 rounds all the way up, eliminations, or 3 races, eliminations, 3 races, eliminations, round of 8, 3 races, eliminations, and then you get to the one race winner take all championship finale, which will be which was at Phoenix last couple years and will be now moving to Homestead Miami. Which, thank you, it's moving to Homestead Miami for the Cup Series. So if it is going back to the chase style, that's what it's going to mostly be like. They may have a 10 or 12 driver field. We'll have to wait and see. It will most likely be an even field. Maybe they'll make it 16. Who knows? Maybe they'll keep it the same way they have it right now. Give more drivers the opportunity to make it into the chase, make it into the championship on points, make it more available, which I would not be opposed to. I personally like having a lot of drivers in the playoffs. I think it's a really good idea. I like the points battles, like the bubble battles are really cool. So many drivers kind of like so close, and with how much parity there is in NASCAR right now, I think it works really, really good. And the chase also may be able to prevent more runaway championships, which, in my opinion, NASCAR needs a superstar, which having a runaway champion would be probably pretty good. But I'm looking over at what F1 did with Lando Norris winning the championship. Oscar Piastri was also doing very, very well. Max Verstappen came roaring back in the end of the regular season, or the end of the season, actually ended up winning the season finale at Abu Dhabi, but still came out short for the championship. Like, that was still really good quality championship and good money for TV. So maybe something like that will happen in NASCAR. We'll just have to wait and see. But regardless, I am still super hyped to hear that NASCAR is making at least some alterations to the current playoff format. Moving on, Front Row Motorsports made some announcements and to some changes in the staff for their 2026 season. They announced that Seth Barber will be moving into the technical director position. Drew Blickensderfer, the crew chief for Noah Gragson back in 2025, will be moving into the competition director standpoint. And Grant Hutchins will be replacing Drew Blickensderfer on the pit box for the number 4 car of Noah Gragson. Grant Hutchins most recently worked with Richard Childress Racing in the technical side of things and competition side of things, kind of more of a front office type of role. Still involved with the racing team overall, but he was more not involved with the team overall. But he'll be moving back onto the pit box with Noah Gragson. And yeah, Noah Gragson, it was a pretty bad year last year in 2025 with Farmer Motorsports. Not a good first year. The team expanded to 3 cars. He was clearly the worst out of them, while Zane Smith and Todd Gilliland were kind of just mediocre at best, and Noah Gragson was just really, really bad. So it was a bad year for Noah, but maybe getting Grant Hutchins on board for next season will be helping Noah improve a little bit, because I personally do like Noah Gragson. I like him as a personality. I know some people may not. I think that he has a long way to go as a NASCAR driver, but at least in the Cup Series. But we've seen what he can do in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He has a lot of talent. I just think that he just needs a little bit of something. He just needs something else to go get something else, just to go get something else out on track. And maybe this new crew chief will help him out there. Grant Hutchins also worked at Team Penske and Ray Evernham Motorsports, if you just want to know that for fun as well. I said that he worked at RCR most recently. He actually worked at Penske most recently up until this last season, and he was working on Ryan Blaney's car back in 2016 when Blaney won Rookie of the Year, I'm pretty sure, back then. Farmer Motorsports also announced that Jonathan DeHart will be joining as aerodynamics manager in dynamic operations for the team. He worked in IndyCar as well for GM Racing, and was also the body production manager for Hendrick Motorsports, which, I mean, working for IndyCar and for Hendrick Motorsports, I mean, sounds like a pretty big high profile name for his kind of department of racing. So we'll see how he does, but these all these moves does encourage me a little bit more for Front Row Motorsports this year. Maybe they'll take a step up after the lawsuit was resolved, but I'm liking these changes. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Front Row Motorsports so far. Moving on to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series once again, Austin Hill announced that he'll be returning to Richard Childress Racing in the 21 car full time next year. He'll be bringing back Bennett Transportation as a partner for next season, a longtime partner of Austin Hill in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He's been very constant on his car the last couple of years. I mean, Austin Hill went through a lot last year in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, had several acts of controversy. Wrecked Eric Almirola at Indianapolis, caused a massive pileup on the back straightaway at Watkins Glen. So Austin Hill, no stranger to controversy, but hopefully he'll be getting back to racing cleanly, hopefully. And he's a very good super speedway racer, and I'm surprised it took him this long to get him a new contract with RCR. So I I think Austin Hill's a good racer. It's just that he just needs to work on his maturity. That's all it is, really. So we'll see how Hill does this season with Richard Childress Racing in the 21 car full time this season once again. Back down to the truck series, Stuart Friesen announced that he will be back racing full time in the Craftsman Truck Series in 2026. That's great news to hear. I mean, Stuart Friesen early last year in 2025, at about the middle of the year actually, just before the playoffs began, was involved in a horrific, fiery, dirt modified crash in Quebec, Canada, his hometown. Ended up needing surgery on several parts. It was a very long process for Stuart Friesen. Had to get surgery on his pelvis, I'm pretty sure. Had to get some procedures done on his back. Had to go through physical therapy. But he shared news a couple weeks ago that he was walking without his crutches or a boot, which is great to see. And now we know for sure that Stuart Friesen will be back racing full time for his team, Halmar Friesen Racing, in the 52 truck full time this year. Glad to see Stuart Friesen back out. Glad to see him persevering. Dude loves to race. He loves to race. It's his livelihood. It's not just a hobby for him. It's not just a career for him. It's a hobby. It seems like for him, it's something that he truly enjoys. So I'm glad to see Stuart Friesen back out on track. I'm wishing him the best of luck throughout the 2026 season, and can't wait to go see him get another win like he did at Michigan just this past year in 2025. So good luck to Stuart Friesen. Glad to see he is back doing okay, and he is back up and at full strength. Can't wait to see him out on track very, very soon. Now, this is a story that was actually pretty big, though, from yesterday. An announcement from Ram. They're launching a brand new reality competition series, Ram Race for the Sea, A New Path to NASCAR. So, this reality competition series, will be a challenge between 15 different drivers spanning over a couple weeks up until the first race at Daytona for the Truck Series, where you'll have 15 different drivers competing in different challenges to earn a spot in the number 14 truck for Calling Racing's Truck Series program full time this season in 2026. So it'll be 8 episodes. The first one actually going to be airing on Fox, I believe, on January 18th on Thursday, and it will be filmed at Virginia International Raceway and South Boston, Virginia Speedway as well. And the contestants will go head to head in competitions on iconic tracks like Virginia International Speed Raceway and South Boston Speedway. They are also getting help from Dana White, the UFC CEO, on production, which is always really cool. I mean, we kind of knew that Dana White was going to maybe be on this for a little bit, but now he's officially on there. I think this could also be really, really cool. Ram CEO Tim Kaniski and Calling Racing team owner Matt Calling is going to be also on the show as well, in behind the scenes commentary for this show as well, which is also going to be interesting because I personally have not seen a lot of publicity or media around Matt Calling. But yeah, this is very interesting. It's something new. We haven't seen anything like this before. This is most likely just something that Ram's doing to get them out in the spotlight, get a little bit of publicity under them, get them on good favor. They're going to be having the first episode of this air on Fox on January 18th. And so just kind of helping them strengthen their alliance and kind of partnership between NASCAR and Fox, the exclusive broadcast home for the Craftsman Truck Series. So I imagine that's kind of what this TV show is for, but it's very interesting. I'm going to be very interested to watch it, and I'm interested to see who comes out on top. I don't think I saw any names that are going to be competing in this specifically. So we'll have to wait and see it, but this is going to be very, very interesting. So the 5 Truck Series lineup has been set. It will be Brendan Queen, Daniel Dye, Justin Haley. The other truck, the fourth truck will be the free agent truck, where it will be announced on uh, the Monday before the next race, where or which driver will be competing in it for Ram, and then you'll have the fifth truck being the race for the seat truck. So that'll be very interesting. I know I just said that the race for the seat will premiere on Fox on 18th. I beg your pardon. It's actually on Sunday, January 25th. New episodes will be airing free across the globe on Ram's YouTube channel, and it'll be very cool to see how this turns out because I'm interested to see what the ratings will be and like how much publicity. Oh man, how much publicity Ram's gonna get from this entire partnership and this new show. And I wonder if this is something that they're gonna do over the next couple of years, or if they're gonna do this every year with 15 new contestants. Who gets the full time ride in the Craftsman Truck Series for calling racing in the number 14 truck? I'm very interested to see how this turns out, or if they continue to do this more. So this is very very, very interesting, but I'm excited to see it. I hope you guys are too. And to wrap up this episode of Talking NASCAR, we have to talk about Steve Phelps, the commissioner, or I should say, the former commissioner of NASCAR. It was announced a couple days ago that he will be stepping down from his position as commissioner of NASCAR and will be stepping away from the sport. Uh, it was very interesting to hear this, but not at all surprising. Steve Phelps made a statement saying, quote, "As a lifelong race fan, it gives me immense pride to say I have served as NASCAR's first commissioner and to lead our great sport through so many incredible challenges, opportunities, and many firsts over my 20 years. Our sport is built on the passion of our fans, the dedication of our teams and partners, and the commitment of our wonderful employees. It has been an honor to help synthesize this enthusiasm of long-standing NASCAR stakeholders with that of new entrants into our ecosystem, such as media partners, also manufacturers, track operators, and incredible racing talent. As I embark on new pursuits in sports and other industries, I want to thank the many colleagues, friends, and especially the fans that have played such an important and motivational role in my career. Words cannot fully convey the deep appreciation I have for this life changing experience, for the trust of the France family, and for having a place in NASCAR's amazing history." And Jim France, the NASCAR CEO and chairman, said, quote, "Steve will forever be remembered as one of NASCAR's most impactful leaders. For decades, he has worked tirelessly to thrill fans, support teams, and execute a vision for the sport that has treated us all to some of the greatest moments in our nearly 80-year history. It has been an honor to work alongside him in achieving the impossible, like being the first sport to return during COVID, or in delivering the unimaginable by launching new races in the LA Memorial Coliseum and NASCAR's first ever street race in downtown Chicago. Steve leaving NASCAR with a transformative legacy of innovation and collaboration with an unrelenting growth mindset." And NASCAR's executive vice chair, Lisa France Kennedy, said, quote, "Over his 2 decades at NASCAR, Steve has balanced strong leadership and a consistent pursuit of excellence with a sincere commitment to our fans. He has helped to bring fans some of the best, most unforgettable moments in our history, and most importantly, he's laid an incredible foundation for the continued growth and success for the entire sport. A true consensus builder and passionate advocate, we thank Steve for bringing his intelligence, integrity, and love of racing to this sport each and every day. While his career may take him elsewhere, he'll always have a place in our NASCAR family." Now, I do want to say one thing real quick that what Jim France said, that Steve will forever be remembered as one of NASCAR's most impactful leaders. Um, yeah, he'll be remembered as that for sure, definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna be here to discredit everything that Steve Phelps has done and contributed to NASCAR in the decades he's spent in this sport. I'm not here to do that. I would never try to do that. But he'll be remembered as one of the most impactful leaders. Yes, but also he'll be remembered for the quotes that were revealed during the ongoing lawsuit between 2311 Racing and Frommer Motorsports. Quote, "He is a stupid redneck that owes his entire fortune to NASCAR. He needs to be taken out back and flogged." I mean, just after those quotes, I mean, I can infer, and I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good in making uh, accusations or assumptions, not accusations, assumptions. I'm not very good at doing that, but I'd have to assume that Steve Phelps is just kind of getting ahead of all the backlash. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I was someone like him in that position after having those texts exposed, I'd want to get ahead of the backlash and get out before I'm forced out, if you know what I mean. So I I kind of feel bad for Steve Phelps, but at the same time, he just kind of did to himself. Like, you can't say that. It's a bad look for him. You're a commissioner, the commissioner of the sport. It's not a good look. And it was clear to me that NASCAR was not going to make any changes, but I guess Steve Phelps, again, he didn't want to be dealing with any of that bad publicity, got out ahead of it, don't want to be fired from it. I'd rather take myself out of it than be taken out by force from someone else. So that's how I feel about it. I want to just thank Steve Phelps for everything he's done. Not saying that he's going to be gone for good. He could always come back. It's just don't think it's going to be a very welcome reception to him returning. But I will not discredit what Steve Phelps has done, what he's done for the sport, and the several changes and everything he's done to both impact NASCAR, both good and bad. It's something that will be remembered for sure. So thank you to Steve Phelps for everything he's done, but it was about time that something needed to change, and unfortunately, those messages were just the thing that tipped the iceberg for Steve Phelps. So thank you to Steve Phelps for everything he's done, and hopefully he continues to have a good career. He can continue to make good progress in whatever endeavor he does. So thank you to Steve Phelps for everything you've done. I'm not going to sit here and criticize him because that'd be wrong, but I will criticize him over those messages, and I have done that. So I think my work here is done. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Talkin NASCAR. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, and you're listening on YouTube, leave a like down below and comment what you thought about this episode and what you want me to talk about on the next episode of Talkin NASCAR. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. That would really help me out. And share this with your friends, your family, your cousin, your aunt, your teacher, your coworker, whoever you know. Share with everybody. Please, I would really appreciate it. And if you like what I'm doing over here, go check out Talking Sports with Miles and Andrew, the other show I do where I co-host, just talking about sports overall, not just NASCAR. So baseball, football, basketball. Go check it all out. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. So stay tuned for more on this show and that show, and share this with your friends and family and whoever else you want to. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next episode or thing that I do. See you later, everybody.